Thank you, Dan. Good evening, everybody. Well, when broadcasters are picking which FA Cup ties to visit in the fourth round of the FA Cup, Chorley, they are looking for someone like you. I know it's Friday night and you're probably doing something else, and I'm sorry if we turned up uninvited, but I couldn't stay away. Couldn't fight it. A team from the 6th tier ploughing away on an iffy surface with a team staffed with lads who could just be chasing pavements, many of which had their peaks at clubs when they were 19 or 21. A side that includes a winger that works in a butcher's and a lift engineer who scored a massive goal in the playoffs, and a right back with Wembley pedigree. And of course, these two have history. When Wolves drew Chorley out of the hat, they could recall that their then Northern Premier League side sent them rolling in the deep back in 1986. One of their stars never played for the club again, and it's often highlighted as the lowest point in the 145-year history of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Water under the bridge? Let's find out. Right. Still to come this weekend on FA Cup Game Day on Talk Sport. Manchester United against Liverpool is live and exclusive to national radio right here Sunday afternoon. Cheltenham and Manchester City tomorrow. But first, the biggest gap in the fourth round. And after knocking out a League One side and a team from the Championship, Adele-loving Chorley are hoping for them it isn't over. Live on Talk Sport, it's Chorley against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolverhampton Wanderers in the old gold and black, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. It's black and white stripes of Chorley going away to our right. Our referee this evening wearing purple and black is Anthony Taylor. He hasn't been here for a while, though he is very much northern-based. He blows the whistle, and before we start, all 22 players on the field and the officials from both clubs on the sidelines take the knee in a show of support for the fight against racism and social injustice. Here we go. This is the big one. Friday nights don't get much better than this in Chorley. Matt Murray is alongside us. You played an FA Cup quarter-final for Wolves. What would your advice be to your former team?
Don't do what I did in that FA Cup quarter-final and chuck one in. What I would say is that cup run really kick-started our season, beating Newcastle in the third round. The Premier League, Newcastle, we were Championship. Wolves have showed that good cup runs have been, still not affected their league form at all, so they need to be up for it. They've given the ball away there early for Herver, so yeah, be interesting. They've got to be up for it. And
Cardwell is attacking the goal away to our left, picking it up by the corner flag, sending it into the centre. It's brought down by Newby, and his first shot in anger is saved down low by Ruddy, and the first effort on target in the game is by Elliot Newby, just inside the penalty area, and John Ruddy had to make a save.
And it was a really smart save. So John will want to, get his first touch underway, but that's a good strike, good play. Obviously, you can see that already that Chorley are going to set traps. They're going to allow Wolves to have the ball when it's the right time to nick it, but then they're going to commit bodies forward. Really good play down the left, pull back to Newby, good strike, hard and low. But not only a smart save, he did really well to hold it, in my opinion. So that will, not that John needs settling down, but that's big for him. So, really, really good start from Chorley.
Oh, crikey, I hope this is not an FA Cup tradition. We've got fireworks again, as we had at Edgeley Park a couple of weeks ago. Here is Kilman up towards the halfway line. I'll go through the 211s for you in just a second. There are 8 floodlights that are here, 4 of which look temporary to me over on the far side in front of a green bank, which just is the gap between the edge of the pitch and a row of houses just behind the Ronnie Pilkington stand, which only takes up about 10-15 feet in the middle of that side of the playing surface. Attacking the goal away to our left, Wolverhampton Wanderers have Ruddy in goal, Bolly, Cody, Kilman, Herver and Aït-Nouri are the wing-backs, with Dendoncker and Matinho midfield. Matinho is behind Cutrone, who's been recalled from loan at Fiorentina, and Fabio Silva. Here is Dendoncker down the right, where it's collected by Herver, who bounds towards the byline into the penalty area, steered away by Lewis Baines, and it's out for a throw-in over on the far side. 2 Wolverhampton Wanderers of the Premier League. Chorley have got Matt Irwin in goal, Arlen Birch at right back, Scott Leather, Andy Halls and Lewis Baines the back 4, Newby, Tomlinson, Calvi and Shenton behind Connor Hall and Harry Cardwell in attack. The ball is deep inside Chorley territory. Wolves have it, and it's in the arms of Herver, who will throw this in back to the middle of the park, where it's shepherded back by Matinho to Bolly. And then all the way into the Wolverhampton Wanderers half, and captain Conor Cody, who I think was a little bit disappointed to be replaced midway through the second half on Saturday lunchtime.
Yeah, it was the first time he's ever been substituted, I believe, by Nuno. Look, he's been absolutely different class ever since he's come into Wolves, but certainly under Nuno, played for England as well. But I think a little bit of it was, I think the penalty was probably the right decision, but more to have Saiss on the left and Bolly on the right for set pieces and giving that balance as well. So it was definitely somebody who hadn't been used to seeing of Conor Cody being taken off, but he'll be very influential tonight.
And Baines dives in and tries to get the ball away for Chorley, but it comes back to the halfway line when Moutinho spots a run through the middle by Dendoncker, headed away, cleared from the left full-back position by Baines up to halfway, won by Bolly, and then all the way through to Conor Cody. That's Lewis Baines, by the way, not Leighton Baines in the left full-back position for Chorley tonight. Ball is on the left side with Aït-Nouri back to Kilman, tall and lean, and actually a guy that they picked up from Maidenhead United a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago. As Matt and I were talking earlier, and you said you were impressed with him because he doesn't play very often, but when he does, he's pretty steady away.
Yeah, I saw him step in at Anfield, absolutely outstanding, didn't put a foot wrong, and someone in the recruitment called Matt Hobbs is the one that found him, put his neck on the line and said, look, yeah, this guy's for me, I really want to take him, and he's been fantastic.
Here comes Dendoncker down the right side, bursting into the penalty area, trying to set it up on the edge of the penalty area for Cutrone, tries to get a shot away, blocked immediately, stopped from going any further by Will Tomlinson, and it's out for a corner, the first of the game to Wolves.
And that's what Dendoncker brings. He runs in from deep, and he's really, really good at doing that. So yes, he's got the physical presence. We talked about Cody being key. So Moutinho and Cody, they're going to be the passers, they're going to be the ones that dictate the play, and that was a fantastic pass, really was.
Great ball over the top, and Dendoncker, who doesn't really score enough goals, that's a criticism of him, couldn't quite get the ball back into the path of Cutrone. Here is the corner to be taken over on the far side. Fabio Silva in there, Kilman up from the back, Bolly in there too. He caused problems from set pieces last weekend. And it will be Moutinho who prepares it short into Hervé, who's crossed to the edge of the 6-yard box. He's aimed towards Silva. It's headed away. Further clear by Connor Hall getting back there to help out his teammates, and eventually smuggled out to the far side, and it's away for a throw-in.
Strange decision that. You've mentioned the lights. I think lights like this are very difficult. I know it's like in goal when they're low like this and the way they're set, and they're sort of in...
They're horrible.
They really, really are. and I think...
They're right in our eyes as well.
Exactly. So why not, for the first one, whip the ball in, even though they've got a decent bit of size, Chorley, Wolves were bigger. Put the first one in there, have a look at them, but instead they tried to change the angle with the ball in from Hervé, and it didn't work at all. But yeah, these lights are going to be very, very difficult for aerial balls, for defenders, but especially for goalkeepers, making excuses to the Union already.
Yeah, well, we like that. Any excuse is a good excuse. Here's Dendoncker over the halfway line into Vitinha, his left of the centre circle, flicked forward down the right hand side, hits the back of Cutrone, and then nudged back into the right wing position for Hervé to deliver across. Dendoncker is underneath it with a header, drops for Fabio Silva, ping-ponging around inside the Chorley box. It comes to Aït-Nouri on the left edge of the area, then back into Vitinha once again, smuggled out to the left. Dendoncker tries to keep it moving. Vitinha flicks it towards the far side, and Hervé, it's headed away. That was a foul by Hervé, and a free kick is given inside the Chorley box, and Chorley can breathe a sigh of relief. Now, a lot was made of the pitch here at Victory Park. It calls Nuno Espirito Santo to warn that it could lead to serious injury for his players. I mean, the groundsman Benke's done a brilliant job, to be honest with you. He slept on the pitch ahead of the Derby game. He didn't do that last night, but certainly he's produced a playing surface that's more than adequate here. It's very, very open, so when the wind and the rain does come in, it comes in a lot, which is why for the whole week it's been covered.
Yeah, and fair play to them, because they won't have the resources that a lot of big clubs have, so they've really been desperate to get this game on. I hope they've been helped by the football industry, if you like, and the TV crews and that, to get it on. But the pitch is decent. It really, really is. No excuses. I think if the weather had been bad, it would have made it more of a leveler. But at the moment, I think it's been, Wolves won't be complaining because they've got the ball down and played. You can see that they've got a clear game plan. Surely going to sit in. They have got. It is like a flat 4-4-2 out of possession. They are leaving the two up. We thought maybe it'd be a 4-6-0, but it isn't. And they're looking to press when they can. But then they don't want to leave too much space in behind for runners. But yeah, I think that's so far. Chorley will be happy with how this game started, and they've still had the best chance of the game. Yeah,
ideally they don't want to let Wolves settle, really. If Wolves get their passing going at speed, they will cause Chorley problems, especially at the back. but if Chorley overcommit and try and go full throttle early, then they're just going to open themselves up to issues too. So it's getting that balance right, isn't it?
Yeah, the balance, and also if Wolves did get an early goal and at some time or took the lead and Chorley did have to go for it, the bench of Wolves will be saying, wow, we'll counter the life out of you.
Yeah, they've got some interesting substitutes ready and waiting to come on. Neto, Semedo, Traore on the bench. Not bad. A few young lads in Richards, Otasawi, Lundvik and Corbianu, who are also available to Nuno Espirito Santo. The ball has just been nudged out of play over on the far side, and it's away and out for a throw-in deep inside Chorley territory. They're using a yellow ball tonight because they're expecting snow. 2 degrees here, feels like -1, according to our meteorological expert.
I actually think it's all right, isn't it? Because John Ruddy told me at Crystal Palace game, he said he'd never been so cold in his life. His hands had gone, everything. Had to get the heaters on it. But I think tonight is actually a beautiful night for football.
Ball bouncing around inside the Wolves half, just in front of the centre circle. Hall and Cardwell go up for successive headers, and there was a little bit of tug back on Cardwell, and a free kick has been given as a result of that. And set pieces are going to be important tonight. They're pretty inventive with their set pieces, Chorley, and they know that this is going to be the sort of area where if they are going to get a chance, it's going to come from a dead ball situation.
Yeah, and I spoke to people at Derby and they said that Chorley are very good from set pieces, got long throw, but also inventive from set play. So this will be what they're playing for. Keep it tight. Can we nick some from a set play? Because it's more of a leveller. They know where it's going to go. They've got some good height, good delivery, and let's see. But at the moment, Wolves are trying to hold a good line a few yards outside the box. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, and all 10 men behind the ball from the outfield players for Wolverhampton Wanderers as it comes in towards the right-hand side, aimed towards Cardwell at the back post, who heads it looping towards the edge of the 6-yard area, thundered away by Bolly. Catroni tries to lead a charge out. There's a shot that comes in from distance from the edge of the penalty area, but that effort from Will Tomlinson was easily gloved by John Ruddy, who bowls it out towards the near side. Ain't Nuri skips away from one challenge. It was Mike Calverley who he left for dead, then cuts back in and gives it to Moutinho in a patch of sand just in front of the dugouts here at Victory Park. A very small National League pitch, National League North pitch, which is sandwiched between a huge housing estate over on the far side and a primary school away to our left-hand side. There's a park not too far around the corner as well, which I'll walk through to get here. Here is Cody sending the ball out to Kilman just short of the halfway line. He prods it forward into the path of Vitinha. Vitinha goes back again to Kilman. Infield to Cody, the captain of Wolverhampton Wanderers once again, and his first ever attempt in the Premier League on December the 12th on goal, which I thought was impressive after a couple of years in the league. His first ever attempt on goal.
Scored for England though, didn't he?
He did score for England. I was there, I was commentated on that goal. Here he is playing the ball forward into Dendonk, then on out to the right, and Herver back to Willie Bolly, who scored and assisted a goal in the Black Country Derby, yet still Wolverhampton Wanderers didn't manage to win, and that hurt, didn't it?
Just a little. Do we have to mention that, really? Come on. You mentioned in 1986, now you're mentioning that. I still think...
I mentioned the quarter-final as well, though. Don't forget about that. Here's Vitinha from distance, swirling towards the far corner. Oh, and the goalkeeper's jumped and not reached it. Well, Vitinha is 40 yards away when he shoots that ball towards goal. It was swerving and dipping in the air. The goalkeeper's hands went up. Should he have stopped it, Matt Murray?
He's going to be disappointed. He is going to be disappointed because from a long way out, he's not really picked it up. He's quite, he's not far off his line, so he's not gone anywhere near the top corner. Yes, it's done a bit on him, but to not even get a touch on it, he's going to be disappointed. And he knows that he's going to have a good night tonight to help his team, so he's got to not let it damage his confidence. His team have been well in this. Hope his teammates can dig him out. It's what he does from now on. But yeah, I feel he should say that wouldn't be beating John Ruddy, put it that way, but take nothing away from the strike from Vitinha. That'll be good for him. This will settle the Wolves team down, but for Chorley, who started so well, it's a blow to take that good 30 yards out, wasn't it? And
yeah,
did a bit, but yeah, gone quite central. So yeah, disappointing one for Irwin. But you have to, as a goalkeeper, you've got to dust yourself off. It's all about your next intervention in the game.
Well, Vitinha struck from around about 35, 40 yards out from goal. He was only about 6 or 7 yards in front of the centre circle, so it's some way out, from Vitinha. And it did move and dip under the floodlights, but Matt Owen didn't reach it, and it's a first goal for Wolverhampton Wanderers for Vitinha, and Wolves have taken the lead inside 12 minutes, and you're listening to TalkSport. Live and exclusive commentary this Sunday afternoon from Manchester United United against Liverpool. And this, the first of 20 games that we've got over the course of the next 7 days. I'm going to Cheltenham tomorrow, can't wait for that. We might get an upset there, you never know. We've got all the Premier League games in midweek as well, all 10 of them, the whole lot are live and exclusive to Talk Sport, including Tottenham against Liverpool next Thursday night. Still, we've got FA Cup drama for you to come though this weekend, and we still might get some here despite Wolves taking the lead. Birch has sent it back to Halls into the area. Connor Hall going towards the edge of the 6-yard box after it's helped on by Calverley, doesn't quite fall for him, and Ruddy comes out into the penalty area and clears away for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who lead by a goal to nil. Here's Matt Murray, the former Wolves goalkeeper.
And it's a big blow for Chorley because they've come with a game plan, and as you said, he was not that far inside the Chorley half. They'll be thinking, look, go on, you can't hurt us, you want to take a shot from there, no problem, and then it's gone in. And for Matt Irwin, it just didn't feel like he got his feet going. It's like he didn't really pick it up and move his feet to get after it. So he's put a dive in there. We always say don't get beat on your feet. He's gone for it, but just don't think he's picked it up well enough. And it's a shame because, as I say, you could see everything, the set plays that were there, and even when the set play was ended up in John Ruddy's hands from the strike from the edge of the box, they got back into shape so quickly. They've been drilled, they've been organised. It's a blow for the home side, but Wolves want to capitalise on it, but Chorley just have to stay in the game for a bit and just regroup.
Ball is out wide on the right with Kijana Herver. It's quite a narrow formation, this Chorley formation, isn't it? We thought that Elliot Newby would be a bit further out towards his right-hand side, but when they're out of possession, he does tuck in to try and help out the central midfielders. Catroni goes down the right looking for a rather ambitious ball that was played to him by Kijana Hoover, and it runs out of play. He calls himself the pasta merchant, Patrick Catroni, and the Italian. He came back from Fiorentina on loan, where he scored 5 goals in a year. Hasn't scored this season in Italy or for Wolverhampton Wanderers, although he's only played 35 minutes before tonight. I understand that he's going to go straight back out on loan next week.
I think the fact that if Will and Jose's, they get that over the line, then you think that means that Patrick Catroni's days are done. I thought they were done anyway before he got recalled and the injury to Raul, but the fact that he didn't start against West Brom, the fact that Fabio Silva has always been playing minutes ahead of him, and Catroni is probably more of a 9 than Fabio, but Will and Jose coming in, it just hasn't worked for him. The fans seem to like him, sang the songs about the pasta and the pizza and all that, but it's not happened for him. He was an AC Milan player, before that he'd played full international, I believe, for Italy, but I think he won't be a Wolves player for that much longer.
Here is Willy Bolly, who has it for Wolves, who lead by a goal to nil. And Wolves didn't come here in 1986. All the drama happened at Bolton's Burnden Park, but they were also in the 4th division back then, Wolverhampton Wanderers. They are a step up in class now, and they lead by a goal to nil. Ball up towards the edge of the penalty area, looking for Fabio Silva, headed away. Vitinha picks up the pieces and tries to prod it forward once more. It's cleared away out towards the near side by Andy Halls. It goes up to the halfway line, and before it can reach its intended target, there's a foul given on the halfway line against Max Kilman, and it's going to be a free kick just short of the halfway stage. And Jamie Vermiglio and Andy Priest just standing down in front of us here, just trying to get a bit of encouragement to the players out on the field of play. Nuno Espirito Santo wrapped up in his big black stadium jacket with a deodorant manufacturer emblazoned on the back. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm definitely sure. Here's the free kick taken by Halls up towards the edge of the area. Calverley tries to win it, headed away by Wolves. Picked up again, sent forward down the right. Newby's chasing with Vitinha, the goal scorer. Takes it wide to the touchline on the right hand side, flicked in by Lever. Decent ball in towards the penalty spot. Comes back out to Tomlinson on the volley, who tries to strike it, but it's well wide of John Ruddy's goal in the Frank Powell stand. And it goes bounding behind into what can only be described as black and white drapes that have been hung from the Frank Powell stand. I think to mask the fact that it's quite an antiquated stand and there's no one standing on it.
Yeah, but from a Chorley point of view, I think that's really good play. Set the ball back, whip it in, good header from Conor Cody, but they're good at picking up the set pieces. They've committed bodies into the box and then around the edge of the box as well, ring fencing it, picking the balls up and getting a strike off. So considering the gulf, I think it was 109 places we said in the build-up between the two sides, all in all, Chorley have really, I think, made a game of this and got shots off, and John Ruddy's had a couple of shots on target, and but for a wonder strike, they'd be on level terms. So, yeah, I think Chorley, all in all, have acquitted themselves very well.
It's 1-0 to Wolves, and you're listening to Talk Sport, and here is Cardwell picking the ball up midway inside the Wolves half for Chorley, tries to poke it forward. Bolly is across there to snuff out any semblance of an attack, and then it's worked out to Kilman on this near side, who's just a couple of inches from the halfway line before he squares it to Cody. Cody under these really bright, fierce floodlights at Victory Park in Chorley, which is not too far away from Preston and just north of Bolton, up the M61. Here's Vatinia out on the right, coming forward. Dendoncker works it wide towards Kijana Hervo, who signed from Liverpool in the summer, cuts in on his left foot, tries to cross, blocked by Calverley, and it goes out on the far side and away for a throw-in, level with the edge of the penalty area in front of the television presentation stand that's been erected for the purpose. It looks like a small stage, doesn't it, that's usually set up for conferences or festivals.
Yeah, I was thinking you listen to your music knowledge in the build-up, probably could see you DJing there with a big stage, all the fans in front of you, something like that.
Yeah, I went to a wedding a couple of summers ago, and they got a little bit tipsy. The DJ wasn't playing the type of music that we like, so we kicked him off and I jumped in. God, that's terrible, isn't it?
Why doesn't that surprise you? I'm not even going to doubt you.
Dan Windle's giving me the thumbs up because he was there. Ball has been played in towards the near side, collected by Newby, and then he loses out, gets his feet stuck in the turf, and it's cleared away by Nuri, and it's out of play into the technical areas on this near side. Andy Priest clapping his hands. He scored a wonder goal once upon a time in a FA Cup game for Stockport.
Did he have a lot more hair?
Park Rangers. He had a lot more hair. I actually watched the post-match interview from that game recently. He's always been an eloquent talker, but yes, he had a great hair actually back in the day. Ball flicks over Fabio Silva's head, and he tries to find Catrone. Comes straight back down the middle of the pitch. Bolly takes charge, headed halfway inside the Wolves half, back to Cody by Matinho, and then Ike Nuri tight to the touchline right in front of us here. We can always touch his shirt, he's so close to us. Plays the ball back to Cody, who then finds John Ruddy. It's 1-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers, and you're listening to Talk Sport. One game going on in the Championship at the moment over on Talk Sport 2. Stoke against Watford. Troy Deeney starting up front for Watford after doing a starring job in commentary on Wednesday night down at Craven Cottage. He's back next Wednesday when we do Chelsea against Wolves. That game, Stoke against Watford, is 0-0 at present. Here is Cody deep inside his own territory. He takes a couple of steps forward towards the centre circle, then plays it wide to the left, and Kilman, who's straddling the halfway line, gives it to Vatinia, and then it's back to Cody again. Big, strong diagonal, which is sent down the right-hand side, looking to find Kijana Herver, but it's a little bit too heavy and maybe a little bit too straight.
Yeah, it just looked like he pulled it a little bit, because Connor Cody's range of passing is absolutely awesome, and that's why I like Wolves playing the back three, because I think that it's hard to either stop, because Matinho can play, Vatinia is good. If Neves is playing, his range of passing is excellent, and if you're trying to stop them, then that means that Cody's free. He can hit it both ways. He's got the fader, he's also got the Daiga cross himself, and I think with the wing backs that's the best way, and that's what Wolves had so much success with. They've tried the back four a lot, but yeah, that was for Connor Cody. He didn't quite get his range there, but I think he's going to hurt Chorley with some of this passing.
Yeah, Chorley trying to get hold of the ball inside Wolves territory, but very quickly they turn it over the Premier League side and bring it forward. Chorley have been in good form recently. They've lost just 2 90-minute games since October, and they weren't matches. They were matches either side of that derby match, so their focus was probably elsewhere. The defeat to Leamington came just 3 days after that derby victory. I could imagine that the nutrition hadn't been spot on in the build-up to that. But they have won 4 of their last 5 home games, and you can see how they do it as well. They've got the big man up front, the little man bouncing around, causing a few problems around him in Connor Hall, and as a result of that, they will get goals. Although they have tested John Ruddy here tonight, but it is Wolves who lead by a goal to 0.
Yeah, and they put some decent quality into the box, and they're not scared to commit bodies forward. So, yeah, you can see why, especially at their own level, they're gonna hurt teams. But this is a very good Premier League side, and we talked about the price of some of these players. The wage bill will be considerable. You got João Moutinho there. He's won competitions at international level for Portugal. He's a top player. So yeah, this is so far I think Chorley they'll be pretty happy with what they've done. They're right in the game.
Yeah, but can he do it on a freezing night in Chorley? That's the big question, isn't it? Well, the answer at the moment is yes. He pushes the ball forward into the path of Vitinha, who has scored an absolutely corking effort. Well, I say corking effort, it was from some range. It's a long-range effort which sort of dipped and moved and caught out the goalkeeper. He's not the biggest goalkeeper in the world, is he, Matt Irwin? That might have been part of the problem.
Yeah, it is. He's not the biggest, but he still should be able to cover that part of the goal. I just really don't think he picked it up, and then it's too late, and he's got after it, but wasn't able to get his feet going.
Can you blame the lights?
When it's straight, no. As much as I want to. When it's a straight one, no, you can't. When you lose a cross, you can. But this is going to be a free kick now, and the lights might trouble him here.
Yeah, because this is wide on the left-hand side for João Moutinho. And Kilman is up from the back. Bolly is in there too. It's not a great delivery by Moutinho. It's like he didn't really get a decent sight of it. I mean, we're sitting behind a stairwell which is obscuring our view, but he looked as if he couldn't see the wood through the trees there, and he caught that really poorly, didn't he? That's unlike him. Very
unlike him. You just said that you commentate on so much football, Sam, and you probably, João Moutinho, you won't... When he's on it, there's not many better at delivering set pieces than him.
He's sensational. Yeah. He's very accurate, precise. He's got a brilliant flight of the delivery as well, where it just sort of curls into the right area.
But that was poor.
But
what was good was his reaction.
He went back and got it.
Yeah. That's the bit that, and if you're going to get a result here tonight, you're going to have to show that side.
Ball's lost in midfield, but won by Scott Leather, who bounds out from the back, takes it on, plays it wide to Arlen Birch, the right full-back, and then it goes to Andy Hawes, who chips it through the middle, the personal trainer who signed in the summer, plenty of experience in non-league. He played for Stockport and Chester, but his long ball is dealt with rather easily on the edge of the area by Connor Cody, and now they come forward. It's cleared away down the right by Herber, but he's given it away to Tomlinson. It's been turned over very quickly, and now Cardwell has sent it wide towards the left, and Elliot Newby is running towards the edge of the area. It's being backed up by Shenton. Can he get across him to the centre, flicked on by Cardwell? It's loose inside the box, away by Kilman, retrieved in front of the 18-yard box by Calverley, back in towards the right hand side, and Birch chips it towards the far post, headed away by Bolly, and Chorley's attack looks to have petered out before it's rescued once again and sent forward over on that far side by Shenton, and then it's controlled and won by Kijana Herber, who calmly takes the ball into midfield, and Wolves are able to clear. 25 minutes gone. You're listening to Talk Sport live on this Friday night, the first of 8 commentaries in the FA Cup this weekend, and it's Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1.
Yeah, and again it was that turnover of play, but bodies, the black and white shirts got forward quickly. I'm looking at Calverley in midfield. He looks to join in. Then it was cleared, and I just felt down this right hand side the ball from Birch was just lofted too high for Bolly. I thought that maybe they could have combined and looked at working across from a different angle, but still, again, it will give them encouragement. They know that they can nick the ball off Wolves.
Fabio Silva tries to flick it through to Catrone, won by Calverley, and then up to Connor Hall, who turns and powers into the Wolverhampton Wanderers half. He's being chased by 3 Wolves players. He plays a lovely reverse into Birch, and Cardwell wants it in the centre, played early. It's blocked by Ait Nouri, and then runs out just this side of the corner flag and goes out. Is it a throw? I think it is a throw down by the corner flag for the home team Chorley, who are undaunted despite the fact that they are 109 league places below Wolverhampton Wanderers. They're quite happy to have a little bit of a go. I think he's going to try. Is he going to try and throw this one in from the corner flag and try and get it under the crossbar? I think he is, Arlen Birch just wiping the ball clean. I'm just straining my neck round a pipe which is in the way. He's just wiping the ball at the moment. Then he approaches a touchline, and then he loops a long throw in towards the near post, dealt with well by Dendoncker. Picked up in the left fullback position by Silva. Did it go out? The assistant on the near side said it didn't. They try and keep it alive. Tomlinson is battling away inside the box, but Silva's got it back to Ait Nouri, who sent it down towards Vitinha. Vitinha can't control, and then it's played by Leather off Vitinha, and it's out for a throw into Wolves eventually on this near side. 27 gone. Talk Sport, Chorley 0, Wolves 1.
And it's a difficult long throw to deal with, because it sort of just died, didn't it? It went and then just died, and for a goalkeeper you can't really come for that. For defenders it's hard to get any purchase on the header, but I knew when I'd looked at your notes and looking at that Connor Hall running, he haunted me when I coached at Barnsley under 23s, because he was playing for Bolton and we played at the Reebok and we'd done all our prep on him. He was on the bench and then he came on and he scored a couple, and he's got that bit Alan Shearer sort of way he runs, black and white boots and all that sort of stuff, which isn't that common this day and age. And now I'm looking at him and I'm thinking, I remember that guy. And the Reebok Stadium for Bolton against Barnsley in the 23s, he scored past one of my teams before.
Okay, so we've had that incident, the quarter-final, 86, and the Black Country Derby. I'll see if I can find something else before the end of the night to irk you. Matt Murray is with us, the former Wolverhampton Wanderers goalkeeper. You're listening to Talk Sport. Up after us at 10 o'clock, it's your chance to have your say on national radio. The Sports Bar Northern Quarter with Mickey Gray and Jason Cundy will bring you live reaction from Victory Park as well. 08717 223344. You'll be able to get your calls in and have your say on national radio from 10 o'clock tonight. We'd love to hear from you. Ball is out of play over on the far side in front of one of the temporary floodlights, and it's out for a Wolverhampton Wanderers throw. Nuno Espirito Santo said he was a little bit wary of what to expect from Chorley, especially with their stuttering form Wolves. And the headline writers certainly came here tonight with their fingers hovering over keyboards, didn't they? Hoping to see some sort of upset. Ball is with Vitinha. Back to Moutinho, flicks square to Willy Bolly, who's 10 yards inside the Chorley half of the field. It goes back via Moutinho into Vitinha once again, and then about 5 or 6 yards over the halfway line. Exchanges passes with Vitinha before a diagonal out to the far side is cut out by Tomlinson, and Chorley are coming forward. They've got Cardwell in the attack and Connor Halls as well. It's sent down the left channel for Cardwell to chase, but Willy Bolly read that and flicked it out to the far side. It goes out of play.
Brilliant, wasn't it, from Tomlinson? Just looking, reading it, bang, in there. Great interception.
It was a Moutinho pass as well.
Yeah, it was. And I feel that, people are talking about Fabio Silva not scoring the goals and this and that and missing Raul. The Wolves team just haven't been at their usual levels. There's quite a few players that aren't hitting their usual levels, and that's the reason. And João Moutinho, I'm a massive fan of him. Ever since he's come to Wolves. Since lockdown, he hasn't been quite the same player.
Ball clipped up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Caldwell flicks it on. Newby doesn't react in time. Shenton picks it up now, produced across into the centre. It's aimed towards the back post. Halls was there, headed away by Kilman. Comes back out towards the edge of the area. Birch chips it towards the far post. Caldwell's underneath it. Bolly is up there too. Tomlinson keeps it back inside the 18-yard box. Vitinha just a little tap square to Aït-Nouri, and Wolves should clear here from the left full-back position. 1-0 Wolverhampton Wanderers lead on Talk Sport on FA Cup 4th round weekend. The first of 8 live commentaries that are available on TalkSport and TalkSport 2 via our app. You can flick between the stations, just download it from the Apple or the Google Play Store, and you'll get access to all our great programmes as well, some of our podcasts and all the other great bits and pieces that TalkSport produce over the course of the week. Irwin sends it forward up towards Connor Halls, a flick on by him. Cardwell immediately chases after us. They've got 2 willing runners up top as well, haven't they, in Cardwell and Halls, which really do cause problems for any defenders.
Yeah, and it's nice seeing 2 up top, and that partnership, and the back 3 of Wolves will know they're in a game. But again, that's why I like this system, because the crosses have come in from wide, but those big 3, obviously Connor Cody's still 6'1", 6'2", but Kilman's 6'3", Willy Bolly 6'5", and that gives them a real solidity in the middle. But apart from the goal, Wolves haven't really created.
Not yet. Shenton goes across to try and help out his defence. They're almost playing with a back 5 at times. Shenton almost dropping into a left wing back position to help out Lewis Baines, who's alongside him. They're just making sure that there's not too much progression down that right hand side for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who lead here thanks to a Vitinha goal scored from between 35 and 40 yards. He smacked it towards the goal away to our left, and Irwin just didn't really set himself properly, and it just scooted between his arms, and that opened the scoring. Dendoncker down the right makes a darting run, scoops the ball back into the danger zone. What a ball that was from Connor Cody over the top for Dendoncker. A 50-yard ball which Dendoncker chased into the corner, pulled back into the area, but there was no one in old goal to convert it. Back out to the wide right, Wolves on the attack again. Kijana Herver into Moutinho back out wide once again, and Dendoncker, who chips the ball deep into the area, is looking for Catroni, can't find him, and it's picked up by Aït-Nouri, who's on the left edge of the box. He's under a little bit of pressure, and it's robbed from him, and Birch speeds away up over the halfway line and away from
Aït-Nouri, who stumbles slightly in the sand in front of the technical area as they reach the halfway stage. Newby drops deep and plays it across towards Lewis Baines. Baines further out now to Shenton, and Lewis Baines has got it again and scoops it up towards the middle of the Wolverhampton Wanderers half. Before Caldwell can get there, it's headed away by Cody, and now it's collected by Kilman. And Wolves have it once again. We've got 12 minutes before half-time. You're listening to Talk Sport with Sam Matterface and Matt Murray in Lancashire tonight for Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1.
And that time he got his range, didn't he, Conor Cody? And it's so hard, no matter what level, to pick up that deep runner from midfield. It's so difficult. Do you pass him on? Do you stay with him? And as you said, you know, like Herver there, he's playing very wide and sort of disrupting their back four a little, so he's leaving that gap. Then Donker's running through, but then he just couldn't pick out anybody in the middle. But that Donker run, the Cody pass, very, very good. And but again, Wolves are having plenty of control, passing the ball around, and they do that, and I just wonder how the fitness levels of Chorley will be affected.
Here goes Cody again down the right. It's flicked on by the defender, and then Donker chasing it into the corner, wins the corner over on the far side, and an opportunity for a set piece for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now they want to do a little bit better with the set pieces that they've had so far in the game.
Yeah, they played a corner short, not good. Martino free kick, but it's just interesting. Andy Priest and Vermiglio chatting there because they need to somehow get pressure on Conor Cody and stop that passing.
19% possession for Chorley, 81 for Wolves. Shots on target 3, Wolves 1. The corner over on the far side, but the shot on target is the one that separates these two. Here is the corner over on the far side. Martino swings it towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Bolly went up there, didn't quite connect, headed away by Carwell. It goes back out to the far side of Martino with the second delivery, this time lower into Silva. Tries to suck it around the corner. Bolly doesn't get there. Cardwell fires it clear, goes out on halfway for a Wolverhampton Wanderers throw.
They're really well coached, this Chorley side. I don't want to sound like condescending there in any way, but how often do you see second balls coming in and people aren't in you know, there's bad organisation. They got the first contact in there, good ball in from Martino, Bolly up there, first contact, but they're up, they squeeze the box, they're organised, and when the second ball comes in again, fantastic defending. So as you say, Wolves have only had one shot on target, but that's the shot on target that counts. But all in all, I feel that Chorley look well organised, even though they've had done a lot of work without the ball. They haven't overly been hurt. The keeper's not had a save to make apart from the goal, and then going forward they look like they can be a threat.
Well, Martinez's only started 2 of the 12 appearances that he's made for the club. Before today, he was a Portuguese league winner with Porto last season, but he's scored the only goal of the match so far with 10 minutes to go before half-time, and he's the 32nd different player to score a goal under Nuno Espirito Santo for Wolverhampton Wanderers, but the 11th different Portuguese player to do so.
I was going to say there must be a few Portuguese players who've done that, and I still feel that Vitinha's done okay. He has, and he's played some games and played at Old Trafford, for example, but Morgan Gibbs-White, if we can get Morgan fit, this is from a Wolves point of view, he's a very, very good player. He's been out on loan at Swansea, he's come back, played a little bit, but Morgan Gibbs-White, fully fit, I still feel can be a very, very good player for Wolves.
Yeah, you get the feeling he must have picked up a niggle because he's not in the matchday squad today, and they did recall him from Swansea. He had 3 months out when he was at Swansea, and there was a driving run from Kijana Herver, and he's brought to the ground by a late tackle from Tomlinson, and that's going to be a free kick, good 22 yards out from goal on the right hand side, and this is in a dangerous position, Matt Murray.
It is a dangerous position, and this is where probably Wolves wish they had Ruben Neves on the pitch. You've seen that he can hurt teams from this range. So is that Martino on the ball?
Yep.
Yeah, so, and it's only him on the ball as well. It's just interesting to see the wall that Irwin's lining up, so you don't need a charger because there's only one player on the ball. 3, 4. He seems a bit
5 now.
5 now. He seems taking a while to organise it. Can he see it? 5 from that sort of angle is unusual, but you'll be following him for second balls as well. So João Martino will be looking to hit the target at least.
There's 5 in the box, and 2 of them are unmarked at the back post for Wolverhampton Wanderers as a result of that. They've taken it short to Herver. It's not a great delivery at all into Kijana Herver, and he's complaining about it. Then Martino's complaining about the run that led up to it. Ultimately, the ball went behind the way for a goal kick, and it was dreadful.
It was absolutely awful. A really dangerous position. You know what it's like as a goalkeeper. You're thinking, I've been beaten from 35, 40 yards. Happened to me plenty of times. So you're thinking, don't hit the target here.
Is that why he landed up with a 5-man wall?
I think so, yeah, because from that angle I was thinking probably a 3-man wall. 4 tots, but he's gone 5. So then you're struggling to see the ball coming over. For some reason, Wolves didn't put anyone in his eye line. But I'm still feeling from that distance, with a goalkeeper that's had an iffy moment, hit the target, but it was a poor ball to Hervé and totally wasted.
Well, they had 3 over at the back post as well, because because they committed so many men to the wall. They had men over inside the penalty area.
It just didn't make any sense to me. And João Moutinho usually leads the set plays on the training ground, very good, and Wolves have been very inventive. You saw goals scored against Manchester United, Aston Villa, really well worked with fantastic way to pass and balls in. But every time Wolves have got into these areas, they've been very wasteful.
Latest in League 2 tonight, Salford 1, Harrogate 1. That's the latest from the 4th tier of English football this evening. In the 2nd tier, live on TalkSport 2 right now with Nigel Pearson and Chris Iwelumo, it's Stoke 0, Watford 0. You can flick between the 2 stations if you've got our TalkSport app. Shenton getting back to a left wing-back position and hoisting the ball out of play over on the far side. I thought we were going to have to go around and ask for the ball back, but it goes out in range of a steward over on the far side.
No gift for a child in the playground.
No,
and you can't put it in row Z there, can you?
There isn't a row Z. Only goes out to row D.
It's brilliant though, isn't it? I say, imagine if fans were here, then they'd be really on the Wolves fans now, on the Wolves players, and real shame.
Yeah. Here, not only would they be on the Wolves fans from the stands, I think you could probably guarantee they'd be on that bank which is behind the corner away to our right, and the one that's behind the Ronnie Pilkington stand, causing a bit of issue as well, I would have thought.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great?
A few people sitting on those roofs over on the far side in brighter, sunnier days. I think there's someone watching from a window over away to our right-hand side. It looks as if they're trying to peer out and keep an eye on proceedings.
They're just trying to get a view of you, Sam, I think.
I'm pretty wrapped up tonight. I think out of the 2 of us, I think they're probably looking at you. You're the one that's done the modelling. Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. They've got 5 minutes to go on TalkSport before half-time. And remember, tomorrow we've got Southampton against Arsenal kicking us off at 12:30 as part of Game Day. Game Day returning. Essential listening for your Saturday. Highline here from Wolves, about 10 yards outside the area, is their defender free kick, which is on the halfway line. It's chipped in towards the edge of the penalty area, but Bolly quite easily deals with that, nudges it to the near side. Newby can't get on the end of it, but it's won by Halls. Back to Newby, edge of the area, dances past Moutinho, poor ball into the box, which is cut out by Kilman, and then Catrone brings it clear on the near side. Halls with a real thunderous challenge on Ait-Nouri. The referee's going to pull that back. There was another naughty challenge by Leather on Fabio Silva, and Fabio Silva's got a problem, but the whistle had already gone on this side of the ball because of a foul by Ait-Nouri. So there's 2 things to sort out here for Anthony Taylor, and 2 worries for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Yeah, look, I've got a Wolves hat, but I don't think that initial one in front of us was really too much wrong with it. Ait-Nouri will be fine. Fabio Silva has took a kick there, but the ref didn't see that because of the initial foul here on Ait-Nouri. But Fabio Silva, I'm not always sure how badly hurt he is, because he has been a bit theatrical in his short time at Wolves. I think he's a very, very talented young player. In the interview, we didn't play it there, but John Ruddy spoke about him. But there has been a couple of times where, he's been booked for diving, and he'll be fine.
I do think the second one was a little bit naughty, and our studio-based producers are suggesting that was the case from Scott Leather on Fabio Silva. But neither have been booked as a result of that. The one on Ait-Nouri, just a regular foul, according to our referee Anthony Taylor tonight. Wolves attacking the goal away to our left. Have it deep inside their own territory with Conor Cody. The goal coming from Vitinha after just 12 minutes here. Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. But apart from that, you've got to say Chorley have done very well and be pretty pleased with themselves up until this point. Ball won by Tomlinson, who's been effective in midfield. Very good when he was at Blackburn. He had a good run in the Youth Cup a few years ago, but he's lost it, given it away. Commentator's cursed. Straight to Dendoncker, and he's taken it to the halfway line. Vitinha cuts infield past Calverley, then chips the ball forward, Vitinha, and it's in between both Catrone and Fabio Silva, and splits through the middle of the pitch and bounces once before it's collected by Matt Irwin. Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1.
And you're right, Fabio Silva obviously was caught there. He's moving, he still got into a sprint there, but it has got a little bit of a limp going on. But that's what you expect in a game like this, no VAR or anything else. But what I would say, we talked about a yellow ball and a Chorley on a cold night. A lot of these Portuguese players have come over, and that was going to be the question mark in the Championship when they first ever came over. The yellow balls are out. And I remember speaking to Ruben Neves. He said, we're doing all right with the yellow balls, aren't we? Because everyone wondered how they'd do. And to be fair to him, I tell you, one of the most robust players I've seen was Diogo Jota. He's not the biggest, but he used to take kick after kick after kick. So Fabio Silva showed me the goal he scored against West Brom, how good he is at using his body. So he'll dust that off and he'll be looking for a chance. But at the moment, Wolves strikers haven't really had a kick.
No, you need to be physical when you come into this league. I'm sure that is one of the reasons why Fabio Silva has taken a little bit of time to get as up to speed as maybe he would like. Here's the ball into the box that he's trying to get onto the end of now. It's cleared away from Dendonker's cross by Holes inside the area. It's picked up by Shenton and chipped towards the halfway line, and Cardwell just tries to nod it on. It comes back to him fortuitously. He holds on to it and brings Calverley into play. Tomlinson chips it forward. It should have gone out to Birch on this near side, who had a bit of space, and it was in the end defended well by Ait-Nouri and cleared upfield by Wolverhampton Wanderers. Yeah, Diego Jota, Liverpool can't wait to get him back to full fitness after the problems they've had in recent weeks, and 4 league games without scoring a goal. Liverpool.
Oh, I mean, Nick Pope, though, Keepers Union again. He has some inspired games at Anfield, doesn't he?
Who's the top scorers in the league, do you think, this season?
Man United.
It's still Liverpool.
Is it really?
Yeah, couldn't believe that.
Wow, you've done me there.
Here's Vitinha, back to Conor Cody, now on to Kilman just over the halfway line. Taken a 6 or 7 yard step into the Chorley half. We've got just 90 seconds before the end of the game. You're listening to TalkSport. It's Vitinha back to Conor Cody, then back to Cody once more, who swings the ball out towards the far side, literally on the inch of the touchline on the far side. It's taken down by Kijana Herber, and he works it to the corner flag, sends a cross into the centre, but it's not a very good cross. It's cut out by Tomlinson, and then Vitinha wins it out on the far side, miscontrols, bobbles out, away for a throw-in over on the far touchline. It's still Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, and that lead is still narrow, and you can understand that, with Wolves' run, which has been unsettling for Nuno Espirito Santo, he will hope they can come here and get a morale boosting victory.
Yeah, and they want to get that second goal sooner rather than later, and sort of give themselves that little bit of breathing space, because as you said, I feel that Cardwell and Hall have showed that they can link up play. They're a threat. They get bodies in joining in there. They get balls in from wide areas. So only takes a mistake, a set play, a bit of magic, and Chorley could be right back in this. But you saw again that switch of play from Conor Cody and the wing backs to Wolves. That's where the joy can be if they can put quality balls in.
Yeah. Wolves have lost 9 of their 19 Premier League games this season, the same number as they lost in the entirety of the whole of last season. But they lead here by a goal to 0 against a Chorley team who are 9th in the National League North, but they are well aware this season could well be curtailed in the near future. And he's got a 2-week break which has come in from today, so they're not entirely sure when they will play again. 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half, so they're going to give it all in the second 45. They've given it all since the beginning of the game, and it's a good reason why they're only 1-0 behind here on this chilly night in Lancashire. The ball is on the right with Vitinha, the goal scorer, who smacked the ball from distance beyond Irwin in the first 12 minutes of the game, and that is the goal that separates these two as we approach half-time. Bolly to Cody out to Kilman. Cody just looks so much more at home when playing in between two centre backs, and that formation suits him so much better than the 4 that the Wolves have been playing up until now. Here is Catrone, edge of the area, right-footed shot down the middle. It was flying towards the goal, and it was only the fact that it was just a little bit high from Catrone that stopped it from beating Irwin, because I think he dived after that ball had gone over the crossbar.
Yeah, really good bit of play for Catrone, because he's been feeding off scraps. So you say cut inside, whipped it goal bound, and just over. Great effort from him, but still only 1-0.
It is still only 1-0. Chorley are the lowest ranked side left in the FA Cup this season, so Premier League Wolves were always likely to come away as victors, but it's just a narrow margin at the break that separates these two teams. A fantastic long-range effort from Vitinha, which the goalkeeper Matt Irwin maybe will feel at half-time he should have kept out. Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. And Wolverhampton Wanderers lead by a goal to 0, scored by Vitinha after 12 minutes, and that is what separates these two at the start of this second half, which is just about to get underway here in Lancashire at Victory Park, which is in Chorley. That's a very small village near to Bolton and just south of Preston.
and Anthony Taylor, who is from Altrincham, which is around about 40-minute drive from here, is just about to blow his whistle to start the second half, wearing a purple referee's outfit with black shorts. Chorley get us started in the second 45, shooting from right to left in black and white stripes, black shorts, and in the old gold and black. Wolverhampton Wanderers are attacking the goal away to our right, the Frank Powell stand, in which there is 4 or 5 people standing behind with long lenses. But it's Chorley who are coming forward, and Calverley has sent it out towards the left. Shenton tries to get to the edge of the area, produces a cross, and it's thundered over the stand that we're in. Hits the roof, bang, there you go. Bolly with the clearance out on the near side. So Owen is the goalkeeper for Chorley. Birch, Leather, Halls, Baines and Shenton, almost like a back five really, with Newby, Tomlinson and Calverley in the centre, and Hall and Cardwell up top. Wolves have got Ruddy in goal. They've gone back to a back three tonight in Bolly, Cody and Kilman. The wing backs are Herver and Aït-Nouri. Dendoncker and Moutinho are holding in midfield, and then it's Patiña, who's the scorer of the only goal of the game, supporting Catroni and Fabio Silva in attack. Here is Fabio Silva trying to flick the ball on. It comes to Scott Leather, who plays it square for Chorley towards the edge of the centre circle, hoisted long out towards the left hand side, and chasing it down is Shenton, wide in the left wing position, cuts it back, and it's sent by Newby in towards the near post. Halls with a header, saved by goalkeeper Ruddy. What a good move that was, and Andy Priest and Jamie Vermiglio put their head in their hands because they know it was the perfect delivery from Newby in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. And Connor Halls, who scored against Wigan Peterborough in previous rounds and against Derby County in the FA Cup, almost scored against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Matt Murray.
But that was better combination play out wide. We talked before in the first half how they got into good areas, but maybe crossed from too deep, or balls have floated in and Willie Bolly was eating them all up. But there, they just a little bit of good play out on this left hand side, in swinging cross, very difficult to deal with. Great movement from Halls, gets a glance on it a little bit more towards the corner, and John Ruddy would have been struggling, but credit John Ruddy, his positioning was good again, his handling was immaculate, but that was really good play from Chorley. And those sort of moments, and the way they started the first half, where they had that shot from Newby, which was early save from John Ruddy, that's what will give them a lot of heart, a lot of belief that they can get something out of this game, because it's a brilliant play.
Connor Hall, who scored against Wigan Peterborough and Derby, was on loan from Bolton. He's made his move permanent now, and he's certainly had the best chance that they've crafted since the early stages of this game. And Connor Cody under pressure from Hall, trying to play it out to the near side. It goes out of play and away for a throw-in deep inside Wolves territory. If you've just joined us and just switched your radio on this Friday night, we're at Chorley against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolverhampton Wanderers lead by a goal to nil. Mick McCarthy is back in football management. He's at Cardiff City until the end of the season, and Cardiff's next game away at Barnsley is on Wednesday night, and that's interesting, isn't it? Where's he from, Mick McCarthy?
He's a Barnsley legend, isn't he? He'll be re up for that, or whatever they say. So he's
I mean you can be a big fan of Mick McCarthy, but the accent's got room for improvement.
Let me tell you. Right, he's top man, but I tell you what, he'd be wanting his defenders to defend this now. Imagine Mick in this defence, he'd be up for a header, wouldn't he?
Yeah, because they've won a free kick about 6 yards in from the left touchline, Chorley, and it's going to be taken by Tomlinson and whipped in towards the penalty spot area. It's a bit high, loopy towards the far post. Cardwell heads it on. Newby recycles it into the centre. It drops inside the box, but it's Fabio Silva who gets on the end of it. Won by Leather, edge of the box, feeds Hall inside the area. Great tackle by Aït-Nouri, and Wolverhampton Wanderers just inside the box get it away. What a chance that was for the home team, who started brightly at the beginning of this second half. They trail by a goal to nil, but the team who are 109 places below Wolves in the football pyramid are giving them a bit of a game at the start of this second period. Matt Murray.
Another set piece that they pick up the second balls from, ball into the box, good play, but if it wasn't for Aït-Nouri covering round, then Hall, I bet for a second his eyes lit up, because he's thinking, boom, I'm one-on-one with John Ruddy here, could have took it either way. But Aït-Nouri's not always been given so many plaudits for his defensive side. Fantastic to get a toe in there, but I tell you, it's been a really, really encouraging start. I thought maybe Chorley would think, I'll contain Wolves for a little bit and then go for it, but they've come out of the traps really quickly, trying to catch Wolves cold, and that's been some glimpses, a goal, one fantastic chance, good save by Ruddy. So yeah, this Conference North side are looking very good.
Yeah, 9th in the Conference North at the moment, although that has just gone into a 2-week break after a vote today Ball is on the left-hand side with Vitinha, who scored the only goal of the game, into Matinho, and then back on to Dendoncker, who is encouraging a bit more movement from Fabio Silva on this near side. Given away, and Cardwell sprints into the centre circle. He's got space on the right for Nubi. Nubi picks it up now, just a couple of yards in from the touchline, skips away from Bolly, plays it down the side for Cardwell. Across comes Kilman. Good challenge by Kilman. Made his body really strong, positioned it well, and just edged the ball away from the on-rushing Harry Cardwell, the former Grimsby Town striker, who is a very tall and physically imposing centre forward at the best of times, but Kilman dealt with it. It was more than a match for the Chorley for number 9.
It wouldn't surprise me if you saw a lot of these lads going back to the league. From what we're seeing tonight, I think there's some good quality on show. It surprised me with Hall that he ever dropped out of the league, because when he used to watch him as a young player, he was prolific at under 23s football, and just with his work rate you'd have thought he'd be playing at least League 2 level. But yeah, going back there, Kilman, excellent defender, as you say, and we talked about in the build-up, he goes 4 or 5 games without getting minutes and then comes in, timed that to perfection. He's a great lad as well, fantastic pro, had to be patient around the first team. But I just feel that for Chorley, the longer it goes on, will they lose heart if they don't take one of these chances? But they have been absolutely top draw tonight.
Well, for Chorley, this is the biggest game in their history. They had never in their 138-year existence reached the 3rd round of this competition before the game with Derby. So to be in the 4th round is a particularly impressive and rare achievement. And they are the first team to reach the 4th round since Havant and Waterlooville in 2018 from the National League regional tiers. The Hawks caused a bit of a scare at Anfield when they scored against Liverpool. And that was a moment of FA Cup magic. I remember where I was when that goal went in. I was Havant and commentated at Havant and Waterlooville in my days in Portsmouth, and been down to Wesley Park a few times, but that game was switched to Anfield. They scored, I think they lost 4-2 on the day. I was in the Sky Sports Soccer Saturday studio watching it on a monitor.
There you go, big dog. So, but and they're in the Conference South now, aren't they? Havant and Waterlooville.
Yeah, they are. Here is Herbert trying to cut his way through the Chorley defence. Back to Matinho into the centre, looking for the run of Catrone. Goalkeeper comes out, punches it off his toes. It's chested down by Tomlinson and rifled away inside the D, and then up towards Hall, who tries to bring it down and does very well to get it back to Shenton in this left wing back position. This is TalkSport. Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Forward by Lewis up through the middle, looking for the run of Cardwell. It's won by Matinho. And then out towards the far side of Aït-Nouri. Wolves dispossessed again. Aït-Nouri beaten to it by the central midfielder Mike Calvley. And going down the right hand side now, Birch with a chance to cross. It's over the head of Caldwell. Hall on the volley, didn't quite get himself set, and it's over the top of the crossbar from Connor Hall. His eyes lit up again, and that's 3 chances in this second half for the team from the National League North. And 3 chances they haven't taken, Matt Murray.
They haven't taken. It's good movement. I mean, that was a difficult chance, but it's good movement going away from goal a little bit. But he just needs to get the contact on it and try and keep it on target and guide it into one of the corners. For the other end, I thought Irwin did very well with that punch to take the ball off the toes of Silva. But that is where the joy is coming. I thought Wolves would be getting joy in the wide areas because of the wing backs. And you mentioned that sometimes out of possession that this Chorley side can go quite narrow, but it's down the flanks that that's causing trouble.
High into the air, the ball is cleared away by Lewis as he's approached by Fabio Silva on the edge of his own penalty area, and Chorley have to defend a throw-in from the wide right position. A lot has been made about the first round exit in 1986 between these two, but more recently Wolves lost their last meeting with a non-league team. They were beaten by Luton in January 2013.
I commentated on that game.
Yeah, there you go. There's Mathorn.
Solo back and got the sack after it.
Here is Dendoncker into the penalty area, looking for Fabio Silva. Can't quite control, and it's smuggled out for a corner to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Ended up in League One after that, didn't they? I think Dean Saunders came in after Solbakken went. The Albion fans called him Agent Solbakken, and he took the Wolves down. Well, near enough took Wolves down, and down. And it's amazing to think that Wolves are in League One and now in the Premier League.
Well, when I was growing up, they were in the 4th division.
Yeah.
As they were when they played Chorley in 1986. We had an insurance man who used to come round who was a Wolves fan, regularly moaning about their plight. Ball squared back towards the angle of the penalty area, crossed in towards the 6-yard box, and Kilman goes towards it. It's out for Goal kick, not a corner. Misguided header from Kilman goes behind. And it's away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. But Wolves' defeat to Chorley in 1986 came when they were at their lowest ebb. 7 years before, they'd signed Andy Gray for £1.49 million. At the beginning of that season, they'd signed Andy Much from Southport for £5,000.
They had, but
things can change in football very quickly. Even in the 80s, they could change in football very quickly.
Well, and in that season, they signed Tomo and Bully, like we mentioned. Look what Steve Bull was a legend. Tomo sat behind us, absolute legend, had the promotion. So I think, you know, the Wolves fans will be hoping if Willian Jose comes to the door, he can kickstart Wolves season just that, with this window, because they're in a recent, poor form. They've got recent poor form, but still, we talked about where Wolves have been. Tell you what, when Fosun took over, if you said Wolves would have been in Europe, 7th, players 35 million and stuff like that, then they'd have bitten your hand off.
Still 0-0 in the Championship. Over on TalkSport 2, Stoke 0, Watford 0. And Chris Wellamo, Nigel Pearson, your commentary team over on TalkSport 2, which you can get via our app. Wolves just giving the ball away again, handing it back for Tinia to Chorley in the right fullback position as the home team look at it. And for those just tuning in, Mick McCarthy is back in football. He has been appointed as the manager of Cardiff City until the end of the season. The next game is against Barnsley. Chelsea is the next game for Wolverhampton Wanderers before they take on Crystal Palace. Both of those away from home before Arsenal at home, Leicester at home, and then Southampton away. And next week's game against Chelsea is live on TalkSport. I'll be at Stamford Bridge with Troy Deeney. Kicks off at 6 o'clock. Don't miss it. Early starts next week. And we've got loads of games on the app as well. Here's Fabio Silva holding it up well, bringing the ball into Leandro Dendoncker into play, out wide to Herber, who travels forward onto Dendoncker, plays it square to Fabio Silva, tries to turn and get a shot away, a shot that's blocked by Scott Leather, bounces to the halfway line, bobbles along the playing surface here, and it goes out wide to Kilman. This pitch did cut up during the game against Farsley Celtic at the weekend, which, to credit to Chorley, they came back from 1-0 down and 2-1 down to win that game 3-2, and Connor Hall, you won't be surprised to hear, scored the winner in that game. So they've got a bit of resilience about them. Don't write them off just yet. It's only 1-0 and there's just over half an hour to go on TalkSport. Might have to do something a little bit differently though if they're going to survive the 90 without conceding again, because giving Wolves the opportunity to hold on to the ball for as long as they have in the last few minutes will be a bit of a concern, especially with Cody having the room to ping balls forward. Matinho does that this time, just strokes it out to the far side, and it's played in towards Catrone, headed forward again by Dendoncker, comes back to him and he spoons the ball into midfield, but it runs kindly for Catrone, cleared away by Lewis out towards the near touchline, and Hall doesn't touch it. It goes out for a throw-in to the home team.
I think surely going to have to accept that there are times when they're going to have to spend periods without the ball, but sliding, organising, but everybody has to be switched on, because top players, they recognise if somebody hasn't gone and there's that little hole, that little chink in the armour that they can just play through, they have to do that. So all in all, I feel that when Chorley haven't had the ball, they've been organised, and what they did differently there was they dropped that little bit deeper so that Cody couldn't play that ball over the top.
Here's Connor Hall again, little back heel into the path of Newby, who tries to get towards the byline. Can he get the cross into the centre? No, he's being hemmed out towards the touchline by Bolly. It goes away for a throw-in. Ball possession, Chorley 21%, Wolves 79%. Chorley of the National League North have had 7 shots on goal in the game. Wolves in the Premier League just the 4. Would be a little bit disappointed if you're Nuno about the level of performance, or would you just congratulate Chorley for the way they've played?
It's always going to be difficult, but you would expect more, and that's what Catrone, you'd be wanting him to show you that he had that one shot, didn't he? He whipped over the bar, but you'd want him, Fabio Silva, Catrone, to show you, come on, let's score some goals. Willian Jose's coming in. No, we've got the shirt.
Just left the door a little bit ajar for Chorley, haven't they? And they're about to torpedo a long throw into the centre here. It's long and towards the 6-yard box, flicked on, helped away by Bolly, and out for a corner, and that's just the recipe that Andy Priest and Jamie Vermiglio will be hoping for. Set pieces causing problems for the Premier League defence.
Yeah, definitely, that's what they want to do, and they've showed that balls from wide areas can cause problems. Nuno's men are going to have to stand up for it, but yeah, I feel that Nuno will be a bit disappointed with the performance levels, but the main thing is they want to come out of here with a result. But yeah, you know this is going to be whipped in, and how will it be for under the lights for John Ruddy?
Tomlinson is going to take it. Cardwell is under the crossbar, hauled in towards the centre of the 6-yard box. The whistle's gone very quickly, and they're going to make a retake here. I think they are. Anthony Taylor wasn't entirely happy with something that happened, but there was a conversation involving Kilman and Bolly. A warning has been made. Careful, lads, you don't want to give anything away. No penalties, please, will be Nuno Espirito Santo's mantra. They gave away 2 at the weekend. Here's the corner then, whipped in by Tomlinson once again. This time it's just a little bit higher, and then the header towards the far post is tipped over the top of the crossbar. What an opportunity that was. I think it was Andy Halls coming in at the far post with a firm header towards goal, and it was tipped over the top by John Ruddy, and that was a wonderful chance from Andy Halls for Chorley to equalise.
And there's a well work they said about being inventive around the back post. You could see they tried it before, but that's why John Ruddy is an international keeper. Top save.
Here is the corner to be taken on the near side, and it's Tomlinson once again, the third in quick succession for Chorley. He'll hit this right-footed. Andy Halls at the far post, and it's headed towards Calverley and Caldwell gets up, wants another corner, and according to the referee Anthony Taylor, it's scooted off a black and white jersey and goes behind and away for a goal kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers. But what a chance for Andy Halls. A header from a corner, tipped over by John Ruddy.
Excellent delivery from Tomlinson, and you saw in the one where he blew the whistle that he was working a deep one, and Cardell had pulled away to header that one back across. This one was a little bit deeper. Halls came from deep to get on the ball, but because of the way Wolves set up, and that again is good coaching from Chorley, from Vermiglio and Andy Priest, because they've looked at how Wolves set up. They've seen against Brighton, they've seen against Everton, teams like that they've been vulnerable from set pieces. Well worked, good header, but a really good save.
Ball up towards the edge of the 18-yard box, then Donker is fighting for it. Kijana Hoover is as well. Across comes Lewis and just shepherds the ball out towards the near side. It's away for a throw-in, down by the corner flag. It remains Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, but Chorley have had the better chances in this second half. Wolves haven't had any in this second half, and that will disappoint Nuno Espirito Santo. And I think Chorley are going to come out of this time with some great credit.
Well, definitely well coached, well organised, got a threat, some good players. I think you'd probably agree with me, some of these lads look like they could play in the league. They've created good chances, they've got work rate, they've got desire. So yeah, Nuno will be disappointed that his team have conceded chances and not really created much.
Cardwell just dipped in front of Cody. Cody has come across, late challenge. Andy Priest and the entire bench of Chorley are up on their feet and charging towards the halfway line. Cody not entirely happy about that. It was like, all right, calm down, but the yellow card has come out.
Yeah, it's no more than that, and it isn't. Fair play to Cardwell, he got there first, he towed it past Cody. He's no more than the yellow card, that's it. And he can understand that the bench will want to try and get every advantage they could, because if they could get Wolves down to 10 men, but it's not a red card, and that's it. So yeah, Conor Cody had a little glance over, drop down a gear, will you? Relax yourself. But it's going to be another ball that's going to go into the box, Wolves holding that high line, and I think Chorley again look a threat from these, especially on second balls.
Tomlinson to take the free kick then. So this is just 6 steps inside the Wolves half, but it's going long into the box, nice and direct towards Cardwell, who gets something on it but not enough to flick it on. Comes back out to Andy Halls, who's having to scurry backwards before he sends it forward again. It goes all the way back into Birch, who sends it long and down the left, but it's overhit, and it's going right over the head of Scott Leather and into the corner and out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. It remains Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1.
Andy Priest is just saying hang it up, because the big boys were still up from the original set piece. So can you hang it up and then get the second balls, and then if you do overhit it, can it go out for a throw-in, so at least you can box Wolves in? But it's gone for a goal kick. Wolves relieve the pressure, but again, Chorley, they've looked the better. They might not have had as much possession, but they have looked the more dangerous.
They've looked the more effective side, haven't they, out of the two? And that will be a worry for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are only in front because of a goalkeeping mistake, really.
It's not a howler, but it's one that he should save. And then you've seen at the other end the saves that John Ruddy's made. I thought that save from the header shows really good concentration levels, and we talked about it in the build-up. Doesn't play much football, but when he's been called upon tonight, John Ruddy's been excellent. What else has impressed me with John Ruddy? These balls that have been floated in, he hasn't got involved in things he doesn't need to. Willy Bolly's been good, but I wonder if Nuno's going to turn to the bench, or he's going to say to these lads out there, no, you've got to sort it out. But the longer it goes, if Chorley nicked one, wow, game on.
It's back page for days, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
If we could go to extra time here tonight, of course, and penalties, should it be level after 90 minutes. Traore, Neves and Neto about to come on. So that's happening right in front of us, but because there is a stairwell right in front of our eye line, me and Matt couldn't see that happening, and our producer just to send us a message from the other end of the desk because we couldn't see what was going on because it's all been barriered off. I got told off for walking near that barrier earlier. The steward shouted at me and sent me back the other way. So you
haven't got the passport thing to say that you've been tested, you see?
No,
what it
I've been tested twice in the last 24 hours as well because the first one messed up. So
I actually thought you had x-ray vision because the amount of things you have seen has been phenomenal because it is difficult. But yeah, so see how Traore does on this pitch. But Serta got a set piece to defend again.
Yeah, it's gone out on this near side. I think it's a free kick. Is it free kick?
Free kick. It's going to be whipped in.
And Tomlinson whips it in towards the far post, and Ruddy easily plucks it from the sky. Beautiful, easy. So Adama Traore on, Neto on, and Neves on. Who do you think is going to come off?
Ooh, you've done me there. I put Silva, Vitinha, and maybe Moutinho.
Yeah, I'm gonna reckon that you've got all three of those right.
Yeah.
Here's Dendoncker out to the left. It's picked up on the far side by Kilman, who strokes the ball forward, then plays it low into the path of Catrone. Catrone then back to the halfway line, and Cody onto Moutinho, and then it's back into midfield, and Vitinha, who's dropped deep once again to pick it up, and then declined to give the ball to Herver, who's waiting in basically a whole park for himself on this near side. Still got it, Vitinha in the centre circle, out to Herver. That's probably been a little bit of the issue, hasn't it, tonight? They haven't chopped the ball as fast as they would like to. Maybe that's because Chorley have done well to get around them and stop them from doing so.
But that's why I think he wants to get Neto and Traore, and I think they'll play as 2 10s, and then I think Catrone will be through the middle. Neves, you can get him in range, but I think that is Nuno looking at it thinking, we need to create more, we need to put this game to bed.
Here is Herver cutting in field from the near touchline onto Catrone, tries to play it around the corner for Silva, cut out by Lewis, and then back out to the near side where it's cleared by Shenton up over the halfway line. Still in play, Cody's got to deal with it under pressure from Cardwell. It rolls out and it's out for a throw-in down in front of us. You're listening to Talk Sport. Goal in the Championship. Stoke are behind against Watford by 1-0, and the man who has scored it from the penalty spot,
Troy Deeney blasted it, no doubt.
Yeah, well listen, he's in good form, and he's kept himself in good nick because he bought a box of Mr. Kipling's French fancies for the commentary the other night, and I ate them all. Pedro Neto is on, Adama Traore is on, so it's Catrone. Is it Catrone comes on?
Yeah, I got that one.
Neto on, Vitinha comes off, and Moutinho off. So we 2 out of 3.
What's that, meatloaf?
2 out of 3 in bed, yeah. Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. Must have been while you were kissing me. Oh no, we're not allowed to do that. Not that we did it much beforehand. Ball is out of play on this near side. It's Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1 with Sam Matterface and Matt Murray at Victory Park. Here is Scott Leather up towards the near side. That's a little bit late from Adama Traore. Big grin on the bench's face. A few words going from Adama Traore to 1 or 2 of the Chorley members of staff. The 4th official comes across and tries to pour a little bit of cool water on it. Anthony Taylor is not happy. There's just a free kick, no yellow card as yet for Adama Traore. Oh, he's coming over to the bench as well. Anthony Taylor, just to have a quick word with Jamie Vermiglio. Big smile on his face. Just as a few words is Anthony Taylor just saying, just cool the reaction down. There's no need for it.
Fair enough. Has Traore got the shiniest arms ever?
No, they're oiled up.
He puts oil on them before he comes off the bench every time, so that people, when they try to hold on to him, slip away. Ball's inside the D as it's thrust forward by Tomlinson, only half cleared, played out to the left-hand side, picked up by Tomlinson again, who's rushed by Neto. He throws the ball forward, but Kilman brings it clear. Oh, he's given away a free kick, Kilman, about 10 yards back from the edge of the D. Anthony Taylor's getting barracked by Connor Cody, and this is a free kick in a dangerous position. It's getting a little bit niggly out there,
and I think that will suit Chorley. He's getting a little bit niggly, and it's just showing you, isn't it, that the form that Wolves are in at the moment, they're just getting ruffled a bit. They know that this game isn't comfortable, it's far from over. It's going to be another set piece they need to deal with. The bench are getting at them, so why not though? It's like Sean Dyche said at Anfield.
It's very different on each of the two benches. On the Wolves bench, they're getting irate and annoyed, whereas they're all laughing on the Chorley bench. And the guy who had a go at Adama Traore has now put somebody else in front of him. He's joking with the bloke down the touchline and saying, no, you stand in front of me, hold me back, you take on Traore. Here is the set piece, which is just in front of the centre circle. Tomlinson swings it towards the far post, header by Birch, drops inside the box. I think it was Lever actually who got back up there. It's whacked back in by Andy Halls. It's an up and under down the left channel, which Shenton is chasing. It left it for Newby. Was it touched behind by Herver? It was. It's a corner, and it's all Chorley.
More pressure again. They've been brilliant. They really, really have, and they'll be so proud of their players out there, but they need something to show for it now, and if they can get that goal, then they deserve it. They really do. They're knocking at that door, set pieces, the pressure on. So this is where, if you're going to win a cup tie like this at non-league ground, Wolves need to stand up to be counted, get the first contacts on the ball again. But they've turned it into a bit of a battle, but credit Chorley, they've been really, really good tonight.
This is what the FA Cup does to you, folks. And this is the power of the oldest cup competition in the world. Here's the corner. Tomlinson takes it into the near post. Not a great delivery. This time it's headed straight out, and it goes out for a throw down by the corner flag, which means that Birch is going to come across and try and propel the ball into the near post again.
And that's the thing, you clear it, you think, I'm clearing it, I'm not going to give a corner away, but when the long throw comes in, it's again another thing you have to deal with. And when you do your match prep, you think, try not to give any throws away in these sort of areas, but more pressure. This is a big armoury of theirs.
Yep. It's a major weapon, isn't it? And they're down by the corner flag here with Birch ready to propel this over his head and then high into the night sky, dropping on the edge of the 6-yard box. A flick onto the far post. Kilman is there to head it away to safety for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Tomlinson gets it back in with a lob ball into the area. It's only half cleared. Comes on the edge of the box for Newby, who strikes it, takes a deflection, rolls out of play. It's another corner for Chorley, who are really amping up the pressure live on TalkSport. Goal in the Championship. Watford 2-0 up now, away from home. Over on TalkSport 2 is Maila Sarr with the second goal. Wolves have had just one shot on target in this match. It was the goal from Vitinha. Apart from that, nothing else in the game for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Chorley have tested John Ruddy and tested the Wolves mettle, and they have another opportunity to do so now with a corner away to our left-hand side. It's floated in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed down by Lewis, loose in the box. Reacting first was Kilman again to the halfway line, but they're so deep at the moment, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Backed by Birch, down the left, headed away, collected by Adama Traore, who's looking to wriggle free. He doesn't get there. Lewis wins it back, sends it wide to the left. It's Halls who sends it into the area, but it's taken a massive deflection and it's gone backwards of square. And now a chance for them to break, and the ball's been picked up on the halfway line, and here comes Pedro Neto at real pace down that left-hand side, getting towards the wing position, then trying to cut back in. The pitch has just cut up a little bit, and he lost his footing and wasn't so sure, and he immediately was surrounded by black and white jerseys, and as a result that attack just slowed slightly. 1-0 to Wolves, 11 and a half minutes to play on TalkSport. And here is Adama Traore, tackled by Calverley from in front of the 18-yard box. A little roar from the press box here as the ball goes back into the air. It's cleared away by Tomlinson and up and out for a throw-in. And so they're not only doing great work going forward, they're doing very good work defensively as well, Chorley.
Yeah, organised, and when they've had to go to ground, they've won it, they've been committed, they've worked so hard to get behind the ball. He saw Neto there. He's hurt Premier League defences driving like that, but they got back. Yes, the pitch cut up a bit, but they still got back, showed him outside. But imagine if that end there was filled with Chorley fans, corner after corner, long throw, balls coming back in. You know, again, the players, that would lift them again and maybe make them jump that bit higher. But for Chorley, how many times have they got the first contact of a ball coming in, but not the second one? And that might disappoint the Chorley bench.
Well, that's been the issue, isn't it? And actually, I think credit's got to go to Max Kilman in particular, who I think has done brilliantly in the box tonight for Wolverhampton Wanderers under real pressure. Maybe because he's used to playing at this level.
Yeah.
Because he's done it with Maidenhead United and he knows exactly what to expect, and he's a hardened soul in that regard.
Yeah, good point. Very, very, that's true. Very true.
Here's Neto up over the halfway line, plays it into Fabio Silva, back out wide to the left, and Dendoncker. We've played half an hour of the second half, so we've got 15 minutes to go. Wolves have made 3 subs already, and their fortunes haven't changed, and one of those subs has just miscontrolled it. Traore on this near side, but he's picked it up again and driven towards Cardwell, then sent it back into the path of Bolly. And they're happy to keep hold of possession here. Wolves need to get some players back, don't they? They are lacking in terms of squad depth. Marçal out for a while, Podence, Johnny. They'll get Willian José from Sociedad on loan. He's got 6 goals in 21 this season. He'll go straight in up front, I think, as soon as he arrives, but they need a work permit for him, and it's not done yet. Here is Traore moving towards the edge of the area, trying to go on the outside. He's being held up by Calverley, sends it a little bit too far wide for Kijana Hervé, who turns it into an OK ball. Back to Traore again, level with the edge of the area, takes on one challenge, and then tries to set up Neves, who sweeps the ball to the far side. Chested down by Aït-Nouri. He's 10 yards back from the Chorley box. Wolves at the moment just playing in front of Chorley rather than getting at any of their central defenders, and they've gone all the way back to the halfway line. Matt Murray.
They have, and a bit of possession though, a bit of control possession, but this won't matter to Wolves. Sooner or later they'll want someone from Chorley to come out, and then can they find Traore in the pocket, can they find Neto in the pocket, because Chorley have to get back into this game. But they haven't tested the Chorley goalkeeper that much. But it's interesting, again, you name those injuries. Podence, he'd be brilliant in a little moment like this, because he's got that bit of magic, that bit of skill, can commit someone and unlock defences.
But you're going to get injuries over the course of a season, especially this season. I just wonder whether or not it was folly to go into this season with such a small squad. I know he likes working with a tight unit, but this season's different.
Yeah, and now the questions, big price tag though on Semedo, big price tag on Fabio Silva, who's ended up having to pay more money. So yeah, it's been a very difficult, you've seen it with other clubs, but for Wolves to lose Raul Jimenez, it was a freak injury, you know, clash heads like that, it was sickening. But FFP is difficult now in this window because of the big price tags played, and to lose Jota, and that's been tough.
Here is Dendoncker trying to squeeze the ball forward. Across comes Newby and wins it back with the help of Scott Leather. Scott Leather sends it wide towards the right, and then it's helped on by Halls, up to Hall, and then on to Cardwell, who's inside the centre circle for Chorley. Now Calverley, growing in confidence once again, Chorley, because they've played so well in this second half in particular. Baines into Leather, and then back to the centre circle. It's collected by Tomlinson, and then Baines has got it back again just left of the centre circle. Lewis Baines plays it through to Tomlinson, who chips it out towards the wide left. It's chested down and taken on, played infield onto Newby, and then tries to exchange passes with Calverley. Doesn't quite come off for them, and it just spills and runs loose in the box, and it's picked up by Ruddy. Still 1-0 to Wolves, just 1-0 going into the final 13 minutes of this FA Cup 4th round encounter.
Some good bits of play there from Chorley. Tomlinson getting on the ball, pulling the strings, bit Neves-like, if you know, switching the play just and lending it to people as well. We talk about the window and being a strange season because of no pre-season. That's what's made it tough for a lot of players to acclimatise and settle, where usually they had a little bit longer as well. So for the likes of Semedo, and that's what I hope, that Willian José can come in and settle quickly and be like Fernandes was for Manchester United, but be a big ask.
The Wolves fans have stopped trusting the recruitment process, which was so good for them over the first few years of the Fosun ownership. But in the last 6-7 months, the players that they've bought in have just not really upgraded any of the positions, and that's why they're all sort of, you know, raising their eyebrow about what's happening next.
Yeah, because has Semedo been better than Doherty? Has Fabio Silva been better than Jota? So that's the similar price tags, or Semedo's a lot more than Doherty. And since the first window before the Premier League, there's only been Neto really and Podence who have been real successes. All the rest of the players who are out here tonight, the main ones, were brought in either the Championship or the summer of the first Premier League season.
And there's a lot of players that have come into the club and then been loaned out elsewhere again. Cotroni's one of those.
Yeah, Vallejo didn't work when he came in. There's been
Venegra is another one of those.
Yeah, Venegra, the fullback. Yes, he was a little bit more in the Championship, but yeah, he hasn't really worked for him. So yeah, I agree. There's been a lot of players that have come in, haven't improved the squad, and that's why Wolves will ask the questions. But still, as we said in the build-up, won the Championship, 2 top 7 finishes. You know what I mean? FA Cup semi-final.
You raise the bar, don't you?
Yeah, you do raise the bar, but it's been good. But tonight, let's go talk about tonight. Wolves, the performance level hasn't been great at all.
No, they've struggled against the team that are 9th in the National League North.
Yeah, and the stats would say that.
And here is Kijana Herber trying to get into the area, cutting across the edge of the box, tries to set it up for Pedro Neto, takes over now. He tries to dance towards the edge of the area, goes back out wide to Traore. They just haven't got anything inside the area at all. No. They haven't had a shot inside the area all night. They might get one now as the ball goes towards the back post. It's flicked away by the right fullback Birch, and it goes out and away for a corner to Wolves.
And that's what's difficult for Irwin, because he's thinking, I got beat from 40 yards, but apart from that, the one punch, he hasn't had anything to do. No. And he'd have thought tonight, probably a little bit nervous going into this game, thinking, I'm going to be making saves, I've got some top strikers against me, but Wolves haven't created at all. But do Fosun care? Yes, they do. Jeff Shee is here. You know, everybody from Wolves, Scott Sellers, Jeff Shee, all the main people are sat to our left, and they're here, they're looking at it, and they're as concerned as anyone, and they want to put this right for Wolves and the club and the fans more than anything. But big moment now from a set piece.
And Wolves are attacking the goal away to our right at the Frank Powell stand. It's a left-footed delivery by Pedro Neto, but it's overhit, and it just floats straight out on this near side and goes out for a throw-in. Nuno's not in any trouble, is he?
You wouldn't have thought so. You'd have think he's got a lot of credit in the bank. There's no fans in the ground, so you don't always know. You know, sometimes that can tell you after a game with his boos and this and that. I'd like to think he isn't, because I don't know who would come in and do a better job at this stage. And he's done a fantastic job. So I was delighted when he signed his new contract in the summer. He's a top manager, but at the moment, the performance against West Brom was poor. The performance tonight hasn't been great, but we are winning. But I'm sure he'll turn it around. He really will.
Full time in League 2, Salford 2, Harrogate 2 in the Championship. 78 minutes gone over on TalkSport 2, where Stoke are behind by 2-0 against Watford. Sarandini with the goals there, and commentary continues with Nigel Pearson and Chris Iwelumo right now. If you download our app, you can get that flick between these two games. But it's going to be tight and tense right to the very end here at Victory Park, as National League North side Chorley give Wolverhampton Wanderers real problems. The history between these two goes deep and long. 1986, Chorley took them to 2 replays. In the second replay, they won by 3-0 at Bolton's Burnden Park. Tonight, they've had chances to take this to extra time. They haven't done it as of yet. That doesn't mean it won't happen. We still got at least 8 minutes to go here on TalkSport. The first of 8 FA Cup commentaries across the weekend. 10 live Premier League games next week, and loads of Championship action too, as we bring you 20 commentaries in 7 days on TalkSport. Here's Fabio Silva in the pocket of space just in front of the D as Wolves attack the goal away to our right. To Traore, the substitute, and now Kijana Herber. He moves up towards the angle of the penalty area. Fabio Silva goes down the right. Across comes Lewis Baines, and just shuttles the ball behind and away for a goal kick away to our right. And it's again experienced, good defending from a man who's played in League One for Fleetwood Town. Yeah, good. He just got his body in the way, didn't he? He read the trick, he got his body there. He showed Fabio outside. A nice little idea from Fabio Silva there, but yeah, good defending from Baines. And I think this whole back four have been really well drilled. Good gaps, good distances. I've wondered when he was going to go to his bench, the Fleetwood manager, because they've been given everything, haven't they? They need to go for it now. Yep, and he's taking off a central defender, and he's bringing on a forward in Miller. So on comes Sean Miller, who works for Eddie Stobart Monday to Friday. Well, Monday to Thursday this week. He was a little bit busy today. And he comes on for Lewis Baines, so that will mean a change of formation. Although with Adam Henley coming on, that means that they may well keep that balance. We'll see how it goes. The other player that came off in that process was Ollie Shenton.
I think Henley will probably go and play on the left-hand side of a back four now, and Sean Miller will just go in as a extra player in behind Cardwell and Hall to try and add beef to the attack. He's a tricky little player, is the Eddie Stobart man. Ball up towards Cardwell. Miller tries to get on the end of it. It's collected by Lewis Tomlinson, Will Tomlinson, who plays it on the near side. Lewis Tomlinson's one direction, isn't he?
I'm thinking that now we're getting your real music choice.
I only know that because he's a Derby fan. Fabio Silva miscontrols just on the edge of the centre circle. It's picked up by Halls. Oh, it's a short back pass, and Fabio Silva didn't really react to that. Goalkeeper Irwin did, and clears up high towards the Wolverhampton Wanderers half. 5 minutes to go. It's Chorley 0, Wolves only 1. Here is Aït-Nouri down the left. Can Wolves see it out against the team 9th in the National League North? Pedro Neto is on. He's trying to scoop the ball to Dendoncker. Pitch is cutting up over on that far side, isn't it, a little bit?
It is a little, but
this is nothing compared to Edgeley Park the other Monday night when I was doing the West Ham game.
Exactly, and that was a cold night as well, wasn't it? I spoke to Darren Randolph. He said it was cold, very, very cold. But again, and that was only a 1-0 win. You know, for West Ham, it was a difficult night, and they've got Doncaster in the FA Cup, I believe, tomorrow against a good Darren Moore side. But yeah, the pitch is cutting up, but there's no excuses for Wolves tonight. Can't blame the surface, but now the game might get a bit more stretched and help them.
Do you have any friends that aren't goalkeepers?
No, we're a weird breed, aren't we? So yeah.
Here is Neto over on the far side. 4.5 to go. Ball into Fabio Silva, trying to turn, get a bit of space. He does. It takes a deflection as he shoots forward off Henley, and it just bobbles into the arms of Irwin, who very quickly wants to dispatch upfield, and he shoots it into the evening sky. It's up towards Cardwell, who's wrestling with Bolly. Bolly's big and burly and just shrugs off the defender. Then there's a challenge in midfield, which Connor Cody doesn't like. Anthony Taylor complaining that Birch was just a little bit too physical, and the yellow card is out for the right back.
Yeah, and again, so Wolves can't moan when the Chorley players, go around the referee and jump up, but Wolves have done exactly the same. But it's a bit similar. I know he's caught him in a different spot, but he's just got there quicker. And that's all it is. Was it Birch? Sorry, who did?
Yeah, Arlen Birch, who got the yellow card, who has got Wembley history actually. FA Cup obviously linked heavily with the FA Cup final at Wembley. He won the FA Trophy in 2019 with Fylde. So Hall going off. Connor Hall, who's been the match winner in the previous rounds, is going off, and on comes Harvey Smith. Now Smith's a centre back by trade, but I don't think he's going to play centre-back now. I think he's going to go and play in the centre of midfield, and they're going to try and get a set piece and flood that box with the tallest players they've got in their ranks.
I thought he might even just go on straight up front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just hit him, and you see that can cause a lot of problems too.
Well, we've only got 3 minutes left on TalkSport in the FA Cup 4th round, and Wolves nervously edging towards round 5 of the FA Cup. It'll only be the second time they've reached round 5 in the last 15 seasons, 12 seasons.
Was that the one where I had a mare?
I didn't bring it up this time.
Yeah,
Traore darting over the halfway line, then moving into the Chorley half. He finds Dendoncker, who slides it to the right. A chance for Kijana Herby to get across him. Hits the first man, bounces out and goes away towards the touchline, but he stops it from going out for a throw, gets hold of it, sends it back centrally to Neves. Neves looks up, sees Fabio Silva in the centre. Not enough movement for him, so he goes wide again. Here is Traore out towards Herver, and then it's back to Neves. They still haven't got in that box, Here is Pedro Neto lining one up from distance and missing by miles. Absolute miles. And it goes behind, no problems for Owen again.
Yeah, he just wants a ball now, doesn't he, so he can play quickly. But as you say, they keep getting into these areas. They're not creating anything. They're not testing Irwin at all. Not creating anything.
Wolves have been poor tonight, haven't they?
They have been poor. There's no other way to say it. They've been poor, and they got the early goal, so you'd have thought maybe this would be the sort of game that they can put a performance with a result and give them some confidence going into the Chelsea game, but they are limping over the line. And you're saying, can Wolves see it out? That's what you said to me.
Sorry about that.
It's true though. That's how it feels.
1-0 to the team in the Premier League. And Anthony Taylor just dealing with a head injury for Max Kilman. I mean, if you had to force me to give you a Wolves man of the match, it would be him. But if I was looking at the overall match, I think the heroes have all come from this Chorley team.
Who got the yellow then? So did someone get a yellow then? No? So I missed that.
Ball is I didn't see it, and we haven't had confirmation from the floor manager. Yellow for Chorley, number 9, Harry Cardwell. Yeah, there you are. Yeah. So it's always good to have communication with the floor manager down pitch side. 3 extra minutes of added time. Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Wolves will go into their trip with Chelsea with an extra 36 hours rest. But it's not over yet, because over on the far side, Irwin's got a free kick which is inside his own half, and he's hoisting it up towards the edge of the Wolves penalty area. Bolly deals with that. Good strong header by him. Neves sends it away down the right, looking for Fabio Silva, who hasn't seen much of the ball today. He's blocked by Halls, and it goes out for a throw-in. Andy Halls wants to get it moving again, and Irwin gets it back, and he wants to send it long. 3 added minutes at the end of the game, and we're going into those now on Talk Sport. Chorley 0, Wolves 1. Are they going to limp over the line? Are they going to get the job done, Wolverhampton Wanderers, or is there going to be a late bit of dramatic action here at Victory Park for the team 109 places below Wolverhampton Wanderers in the football pyramid? Can they come up with something? Can they create one last chance? Irwin sends it long. Cardwell, a little nudge into the centre. Then Donker went down, no foul, said the referee. Lever progresses a couple of yards forward, runs into traffic, holds it off and gives it to Harvey Smith. Smith sends it back into the centre circle. Tomlinson sends it forward. It's up towards Leather, away by Bolly. Back through Smith into the edge of the box, but Bolly is there again, doing all the hard graft for Wolves and trying to repel any possible attack. Picked up by Neto, runs it clear. Aït-Nouri in support. Wolverhampton Wanderers, who haven't really tested the goalkeeper Irwin since the goal from Vitinha on 12 minutes, swirled away from him, slipped through his gloves and went into the back of the net. Apart from that, Chorley have been solid, they've been effective, they've caused problems for a Wolverhampton Wanderers side that looked devoid of confidence and certainly devoid of any creativity. Ball picked up on the left by Aït-Nouri, midway inside the Chorley half. What a credit they are to the National League North, by the way, Chorley. Their shape, even at this late stage, is excellent. Their work rate, their desire, they're crunching into tackles. Calverley, then Tomlinson, and then the ball's picked up by Newby far side. And now Birch is urged forward by the bench down in front of us. Get the ball up and get it up quick. He sends it long, looks for Cardwell, but Bolly is there to edge him out again and take control of the situation and nod it to the halfway line. And another Chorley attack has been repelled. Matt Murray.
Yeah, and you have to credit the fitness levels. We were talking about it, off air about how young this team is. So there's no one who's real babies, but there's still a very good age. No one's over the age of 27, 28, so they've got good fitness levels. They stuck with it because you thought, again, maybe they're tired, especially with the amount of time Wolves have spent with the ball. You've had more possession, but they've been so good. Every bit, every box for me has been ticked with quality, desire, tactical intelligence. Everything has been bang on, and they're unlucky. They've had the best chances. John Ruddy's been excellent. You have to say the back 5, especially that back 3 for Wolves, have been very, very good, won a lot of balls. But yeah, Chorley have been a great advert for the Conference North for sure.
Well, they've had such a fantastic cup run, haven't they? They've done brilliantly against Wigan, against Peterborough and against Derby County, but even Chorley have found out with the FA Cup, sometimes it lasts and sometimes it hurts instead. The ball's out on the far side. It's with Dendoncker trying to bundle his way towards the byline. It's smuggled behind and away for a goal kick. Is there going to be one more chance? We've got 7 seconds of that stoppage time still to play. Here's Irwin. He's just going to hit it as long as he can, as far up the pitch as possible. He sends it long up towards the left as they look at it, away by Dendoncker. Out for a throw-in to Chorley. Steal a couple of yards, says Andy Priest. Get it into the box, he says. Birch runs over. He wants to take it. He screams at Henley, says, leave it for me. This is it. This is the last chance. They're going to torpedo a throw-in midway inside the Wolves half on the left, into the box. Can Can they make it count? They haven't made one count so far. This is the time. If they're going to do it, they need to do it now. 48 and a half minutes played in the FA Cup fourth round in the second half. It's on to Halls, who heads it square inside the box. It's smuggled away by Wolverhampton Wanderers and Neves, and out of play. And there's the full-time whistle, and Chorley go out of the FA Cup against Wolverhampton Wanderers. But boy, did they give Nuno Espirito Santo's team a game. Wolves head off an upset against non-league Chorley with a goal from Vitinha in the first half, and win for only the second time in 8 matches. But it is a sigh of relief for Nuno Espirito Santo, who was worried about the pitch, he was worried about the conditions, he was worried about the form of his Wolverhampton Wanderers side, and he was absolutely right to be so. They limped over the line against the team 9th in the National League North. For Chorley, there might be one more rendition of Adele, but as far as the FA Cup is concerned, I'm afraid, for them, this time it is over. We finished at Victory Park, Chorley 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1.